things evolution, all things growth, all things change, all things innovation.
Welcome to All Things Evolution with Tasha. Today, for me, I must say, has been one of those days that I just feel like falling back into old habits and just retreat into my thoughts. It's a real struggle for me right now, but in spite of the way I'm feeling, I'm going to push through it. That's how important it is for me to honor my commitment to you. So let's officially get into it. I had intended on starting this episode off like I usually start my days, and that's with gratitude. So bear with me as I try to reel my thoughts back in. I must say, I am truly extremely appreciative for the support I received on last week's episode, and to everyone that took the time, energy, and focus out of what finite amount they had for that day and consciously shifted it to something that I'm so passionate about and that I've finally decided to try and formalize and put out into the world. I say to you, I do not take it for granted at all. Today, I want to touch on being solutions driven. So the Kaizen principle I want to bring into consciousness for this week is don't waste time making excuses, but focus on finding solutions. In this moment, I want you to close your eyes. Repeat those words in your mind. Then I want you to visualize yourself being a solutions powerhouse. No context is off limits. And finally, I want you to feel or imagine what that would feel like for you. So for those of you who don't know Tasha, I am a beautiful spirit that's an antisocial extrovert. So before starting up my podcast, I was in a very troubling space, trying to figure out which of my passions was driving me at this stage of my life. The fact that I have so many gifts and that I've been blessed in so many areas of my life made it that more difficult to put my finger on it. Despite that, I needed to figure out what direction my inner self was pulling me to, so at least I could do what I do best, and that's starting to put together strategies or putting a plan in place on how to execute on that. At different points in my life, I either started up ventures or was a partner in businesses, but I kept limiting myself to only function from a place that I don't have to be out there too much. Like, I didn't want to put myself in a position to have to do anything outside of my comfort zone. And that's because I know how unforgivably judgmental the world can be sometimes, especially when you're a Black woman willing to defy whatever societal standards they want to force upon you. So I hid. I shied away from every single opportunity to give the world anything that was authentically of me. Quite a few of my startups failed, like flatlined, simply because I just did not push through. I didn't have the drive to either. They all started off as fun and exciting, putting the business strategy together, investing in inventory, setting up social media pages, the whole nine. But when the time came for me to actually put in real work and grind, no pun intended, that's where it all goes bad. You see, when you have a 9 to 5 and you're a mom, it's hard enough finding the time to take a 5 minute shower, let alone putting whatever blood, sweat, and tears you have left at the end of the day into something that really doesn't give you any sense of fulfillment. And because of these instances or experiences that I've had, I convinced myself that it made no sense even bother trying anything else because the result would only be the same. But I can tell you that is a lie from the pit of hell. Always defy the odds. Always keep pushing. You see, the moment we come to truly understand that it all starts with our thoughts, the word failure would be a thing of the past. I remember one day watching one of my favorite podcasters, the host of the Godcast. His name is Lord Jamar. And the essence of what he was saying was really that we live in a mental world. The lives we're living right now all started with our thoughts. Our lives are physical manifestations of our thoughts, and it's important that we are aware of what our thoughts are, because wherever they go, our energy follows. So you must be intentional with your thoughts and make sure that they align with where you see yourself being. After watching that video, I immediately started to research ways to reprogram my mind so it would better subconsciously support my desires. And I think to some extent I was able to successfully do that, because I can tell you, I've never felt the kind of drive I now have to do what inspires me. And here I know that is to empower and to connect. These days, after I get home at night and I've put my toddler to bed, I'm excited to do research to figure out what's the message I want to deliver here weekly. Instead of just being a recluse, like, this is my way of connecting and being social while being creative at the same time. And thus far, it's really been a pleasure. Just before I wrap, I would like to say that today in 2019, one thing that I know that will help to set you apart is your ability to look at any situation and not just say, hey, roadblock, waiting on whomever or whoever to swoop in, solve the problem before you even consider moving forward. Always ask yourself, what if no one comes to save the day? We need to train our minds to be our own superhero. Okay, we have a roadblock. Here's what I'm thinking I can do to get to the other side. Write your ideas down. Jump online to see if anyone's tried any of the solutions you have written down. See what those results were like. And then you use that information to make informed decisions on how to get to the other side of the obstacle. Don't waste time making excuses, but focus on finding solutions. On that note, I'm your girl Itasha, and I am out. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at All Things Evolution. Feel free to drop us an email with questions or feedback. Email address allthingsevolution@gmail.com. And be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Simply type All Things Evolution, lowercase, no space, into your YouTube search bar, and you should find all our content there. Until next time, peace.